What is going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
And we're back. Brand new episode is on January 23rd. It's a Wednesday evening, early evening. It's about 4 o'clock, almost 5 o'clock. And we got a good show for you guys today. It's another one of the new year. We had some good fights over this past weekend. We're going to get to those pretty soon. But first, let's just get right into it. This past weekend, you had ESPN. UFC's ESPN debut in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Henry Cejudo versus TJ Dillashaw. And overall, pretty decent card. In my opinion, it was a pretty decent card. I actually thought the undercard was a lot more entertaining than the main card. But we'll break down those fights right now. But were you able to catch the fights? You know, we have ESPN Plus. We're subscribers. For one of those 500 plus thousand people that subscribed over the weekend.
Crazy.
But wasn't bad. Did you have any glitches? People were complaining about glitches.
I didn't watch the fight live.
You didn't watch it live?
I went back and saw it.
Okay.
So I didn't get anything. I thought it was awesome. I think to see like Fox, see the ESPN logo right next to the UFC logo is pretty crazy.
Cool. Pretty nice.
But then was even more trippy is seeing Stephen A. Smith.
Yes, yeah.
On the broadcast.
I didn't realize how tall he is.
Yeah, he's a tall guy, but like people like Stephen A. Smith is the guy at ESPN.
Yeah,
like he's one of the most respectable journalists in sports. He wasn't paid by the UFC or ESPN to be there.
Yeah.
He
just wanted to be there?
He was there as a fan to check out the, because he loves the sport. And they asked him if he wanted to come on, and he came on. But he wasn't paid. He wasn't scared to come on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know
that was crazy for me.
He's a growing fan of the sport. I know he was always he's an older guy, so he's more of a boxing fan. But I think little by little, over the past few years, he's actually grown.
Yeah, and you can tell by the stuff that he says, and he's really careful, not to step. On his boundaries as far as
his knowledge,
disrespecting the sport.
He does. He's very careful with his words. Yeah. He's very respectful of the sport. He doesn't refer to boxing while talking about the sport like a lot of guys who really aren't familiar with it do. They'll be like, "Oh, well, in boxing."
He's grown on me a lot.
I really he's actually grown on me too. He's grown on me too. I think the way he's slowly growing in his knowledge of the sport and his passion and his love for the sport is actually starting to show a little bit more.
Yeah, because I know, he's really knowledgeable when it comes to sports, and to him apologize or thank GC and John Anik for helping him with helping him understand certain situations. For him to thank them publicly was pretty cool. Yeah,
and so he was on a part of the broadcast.
That was crazy for me.
I thought overall the broadcast was pretty good. It ran pretty smooth. I experienced a couple of glitches in terms of it just freezing. And now I just get out of it real quick, go back in. It wasn't really much of a hassle trying to get it to work. It was just maybe twice throughout the entire night it did that. It's the first night. You got to expect it. And there was a little bit of a delay from the prelims to the main card, I think. It did take a little while, and maybe just the setup was, just transition wasn't going as smooth, but there was a little bit of a delay. It was scheduled for 5 o'clock, and it was like 5:15 or 5 or so around that time, if not longer, before it actually kicked in.
Yeah, I worked that day. The night before, I DVR'd the prelims on ESPN. I got home, and I watched the card. It was, I guess, watching it live would probably be a problem, but since I saw it the day after or that night, you know what? I didn't even finish the prelims. I finished the prelims, and then the next night is when I finished the card.
I think if you don't even have to DVR it so much anymore. I think it should all be on the app for replay, ESPN or the ESPN Plus. No,
I think so. You know what? And I think I don't know if we had the same problem. Well, no, you didn't because you saw it live. But I had a hard time fast forwarding.
Yeah,
one of the things that I love about recording fights is I can fast forward all the BS, like all the
Right. I did have
and I didn't know how to fast forward
because I wanted to go back and watch because they lump it all together, I think. And then I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back and watch the Cowboy fight. And it was taking forever when I just gave up. It took so long.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully they fix that issue. They gave you an
Yeah,
option to fast forward because one of the luxuries of watching something recorded is that you can fast forward through all that
yeah.
pre-fight talk, commercials. So
Or
I
even just keep it broken up into pieces where early prelims, the prelims, and then
because
just
I know they had the main event broken up. We can just
yeah.
watch the main event by itself.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I do. I experienced the same thing where I was like, it was kind of a hassle to fast forward through everything. Or it might have been the prelims both hours lumped into one,
Hmm.
and it took forever to get to that point. So I didn't even.
Yeah,
I gave up.
but you know what? I downloaded an episode of 30 for 30.
Hmm.
I'm so happy that they can see the whole freaking library in there. It's awesome. But watching it, like streaming the 30 for 30 episode, I had a hard time fast forwarding it. But when I downloaded the episode, I was able to fast forward pretty easy.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
I don't know if it's like you only can do it when you download
Yeah.
the actual show you're watching, but I hope they fix it because fast forwarding is a must.
And the content I think is going to slowly build. There's not a whole lot of content on there right now. It is nice to be able to see like they usually have like 5 different streams of live events going on. College basketball is a big thing on there. Um,
Yeah, but I think for ESPN, I think that's probably they probably add a couple more stuff, but I think that's all you're gonna get because it's
yeah,
sports. You can't really add content with sports.
yeah. I'm talking about UFC content though.
Oh,
Like, there's not a whole lot of UFC content. Yeah, there's some Unleashed and some past fights, which is pretty cool.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the Tuesday Night Contender series.
Is that going to be on there too?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that then.
I think I could be wrong, but I think that's what I was.
Yeah, why even keep fight? Oh, I don't know. I guess they keep Fight Pass for the library,
Yeah,
but that's got to eat up at the Fight Pass
it just seems like the UFC
subscribers.
doesn't really put much effort onto
Yeah, it's like
their own streaming service.
yeah.
I mean, why have it there?
Why have it?
They should
But
just put it on ESPN Plus.
they should. They should sell it to ESPN. Maybe have maybe sell like at a cheap price.
They need to do,
Just get some
yeah,
money back.
because I think if for a fight fan or for any casual fan to know that you can watch archives from the UFC is another reason for the consumer to subscribe to the ESPN
Because they're gonna
Plus.
have what? How many Fight Pass fights are they gonna have on the Fight Pass? Like maybe
Not
one
as
or
much as
like a couple.
Fox, but it's going to be a good amount.
They're gonna have a decent amount on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm happy because it's not going to be like every weekend we're going to see a fight.
But no, I'm talking about Fight Pass, not ESPN Plus.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think that I don't think that exists anymore. I think you just get it for archives
And all the other
and maybe
on all
like
the
the
other
original programming that they have on
yeah,
there. But
all the other promotions.
they should just
I don't know. I don't know what you do with that, especially because all your live events, half of your live events are going to be
I guess
on
it'll
ESPN.
suck for the companies that are contracted with them,
Yeah,
like Invicta and Eddie Bravo's show, EBI,
EBI,
and
Glory. I think
I think
Glory's on there.
Alpha is on there, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's a bunch of them.
Legacy fights are on there. Yeah, I don't know.
Invicta.
Yeah, so I think with those companies, I think they wanted to move on, but if you look at it, why even have it?
Yeah, and it's unless they lower the price. If they lower the
I guess
price,
they're making money by the companies giving them
I
money.
guess. I guess. But I think if they lower the price and be like, hey, you can get ESPN, sell it as a package, ESPN Plus and UFC Fight Pass for $10,
Yeah,
5 and 5. I think we would probably go for that. I mean, I would go for that. You get the whole UFC library, all these other promotions, and ESPN Plus and all the live events on there. Sell it as a package. You'll get a ton of subscribers.
yeah,
I don't know. I think that would probably be the best solution. I think I can't think of any other solution to get eyeballs to UFC Fight Pass because it's like $14 a month, and there's really no live UFC events. And if they do put them on there, really no one cares. Really, the matchups aren't that good. Not
Mm.
enough to pay that much. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
How much is it right now?
I think it's over $10. If it's not $9.99, it's probably close to $14.99. It's somewhere around that ballpark. $12.99, $13.99. I really don't know.
That's way too much.
It's way too much. Way more than ESPN Plus, and you don't even get any of the good live events. Like this next live event after the Whitaker and Gastelum fight. I think you have Santos, and I forgot who do you have. I don't know. You have a good card. You have a couple of good cards this month, I guess, that are going to be on there. Oh no, Rafael Assunção and Marlon Moraes is headlining the next ESPN Plus card.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a freaking that fight alone is I want to see that fight.
Yeah.
That card. So I don't know. Our observations, I guess. Let's go off the card real quick. I thought the undercard was great. I thought it was even more the 2 hours of the undercard were even more entertaining than the main card for me. The fights were more competitive. Dennis Bermudez coming out with the win, retiring. Had a stellar career, 7-0 win streak, 7-win streak. He went on highly touted contender throughout most of his career in the UFC. Had a win over the current champ Max Holloway. Calls it a day. Plans to stay within the sport, but also looking to have some regular 9-to-5 job and kind of just raise his kids and do that thing. So all the props for him for Dennis Bermudez being out there. You got Corey Sandhagen coming up with the win, looking good. People were talking about him a lot. You have Alonzo Mansfield picking up a win. You have Joanne Calderwood defeating Ariana Lipinski. What do you think about that fight?
I was disappointed. I was going for Lipski to win.
Lipski, yeah.
She looked like an amateur against
especially because Joanne Calderwood's her wrestling has like grown leaps and bounds. Before she was primarily just a kickboxer.
Yeah,
and her wrestling is pretty good for you know.
I mean, she fought a good smart. I think the first round was a filling out process, and she quickly found out that Lipsy is a great striker, and her best chances to win that fight is to take that fight to the ground.
Yeah,
and I think she did, and then she dominated. I think the fight.
Also, it just looked like experience. I think we'll get to the Cerrone fight, but it was very much you could have some parallels between the two because Joanne Calderwood is seasoned vet, especially in the UFC, just in general seasoned vet, and she just looked a lot more comfortable and adapted within the fight and just had an overall set of skills that she was more comfortable putting into it. And where Ariel Lipski was, stand up and jiu-jitsu, and she's got a couple submissions over jiu-jitsu, so she's no slouch there. And I've seen her fight, but that wrestling I think was a big factor, and just the experience. Yeah, and it showed. It definitely showed.
I mean, it was Lipski's first fight. And she's fighting on a platform like ESPN. I'm sure nerves were involved, but I give it more to experience. You're right.
Yeah, I would not taking anything away from Calder, but I think she's grown in her skill set, and she's obviously going for a title shot. She wants a title shot. It's probably going to go to Jessica I think, according to Dana White. But she looked good. I think Joanne Calder would look good. Pick up a win over Lipski. Lipski would probably get another fight to prove herself. Someone a little less experienced, somewhere in the and to prove herself and get some experience, get comfortable within the UFC. So we'll see how that goes. That was a good fight overall. And then you have Donald Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez, which I thought was probably one of the fight of the night.
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
Performance at least.
Easy.
I think Cerrone got 100K. I think he got fight of the night, performance of the night, or one of those.
He got 2 bonuses.
Yeah, to me it was one of the more exciting fights.
It was the fight of the night. You're right. Yeah, I was really pumped up for that fight. The pre-fight tactics, with Anthony Hernandez really being, talking a lot of crap and kind of disrespecting Cerrone.
Yeah.
It made me want Cerrone to beat up Hernandez, and it showed in that fight. I think Anthony Hernandez was way too sloppy in the striking. I think once Cerrone figured out his distance and his range, he started dominating the fight. He always landed that knee. That knee always worked because I think Hernandez likes to fight. I think he goes in and hits like 2 hits or a 2-hit combination, and then he goes back to reset. And every time he went back, he got hit by Cerrone.
Yeah.
And then eventually set up that head kick.
Yeah, so Cerrone, he makes you a little nervous because of the way he stands, because he keeps his arms kind of wide, and his chin's out there, and this makes you nervous because you just because he's not a volume puncher. He's more of he he picks his shots and he times his stuff really well. But he leaves himself open, I think, in a lot of ways where maybe it gets guys. I don't know. It just it makes you a little nervous when you watch him fight. And I was kind of rooting for him in this one too, because he's on a roll, and I know he the Conor fight, obviously that might be next. But I thought he did really good against Hernandez. Hernandez came in guns blazing, ready to knock his head off, and eventually the experience and the timing and the precision of Cowboy over time, just accumulation, and just okay, he got Hernandez figured out, and then that's it. It was a great fight.
It was awesome, and then it was cool to see Conor kind of give him his props and the respect. It's a great fight for Conor, to get I won't say to get his confidence back, but just to get back on the win column.
Over a big name.
Over a big name, I think it's smart. I think Conor wins 10 times out of 10. But who knows? I mean, Donatoni can land and punch. It can hurt Conor, but I still pick Conor in that fight, and I think it's a very good matchup for both guys, because if Conor wins, he gets back on the win track, and his next fight can potentially be a title fight, and then with Cerrone, he wins that fight, he changes his life.
Yeah, I think if it's a 5-round, if it's a 5-round fight, obviously I think Cerrone has a little bit maybe more to offer in terms of if it becomes a dogfight, as time goes on, with the striking and the kicks and the size factor, I think is a big thing, and his jiu-jitsu is another big thing. It's super underrated. Probably as dangerous, and now more dangerous than let's say a Diaz brother or something like that. It's just he's so aggressive and so quick with the submissions, and but I'd probably still favor Conor in that fight if it were to go down. But I do
just
like
because he's sloppy. Cerrone can be sloppy when he's striking,
especially in the early rounds. And he he leaves himself open. You can't do that with Conor. Conor will just eat you up, man. So 155 Conor against a 155 Cerrone. That'd be a good one. I look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Great fight for Cowboy, picking up a win. Probably, hopefully, get Conor next. Good for him to get a big win, fight like that. Teixeira picking up a win. Paige Van Zant defeating Rachel Ostovich. We both picked Rachel, and Rachel was actually doing pretty good.
Yeah, that first round was a complete domination.
Yeah, I thought she was doing really well. Even in the second round, going into the second round, I thought she was going to do really well. I always just think she puts it together better. But again, Paige pulls it out. She just, she got top, and I think it was just in the scramble, and then she ended up getting an armbar, and that was it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think Rachel kind of tired her arm out. I think going for that choke a little too long.
Yeah.
But she looked good in that first round. I think Paige Van Zant's been away from the cage for quite a while. She's married now. I think it's her first fight since being married.
She was emotional too, picking up the win.
Yeah, and I think she went through that first round, got that ring rust, but then reset it in between rounds 1 and 2. Came out and picked up an impressive victory over a tough opponent with Rachel Ostovich.
Yeah, I feel bad for Rachel. I think she's maybe 5-6-5 or 5-6 or something like that. I think she's on more of a losing streak. She's got an even record, a little bit more on the losing streak. I don't know what you chalk it up to. Experience. It's hard getting your professional, developing as a professional in the UFC is very difficult. And hopefully they keep her around. I think they will.
She's dealt with a lot this year.
Yeah. It would have been. She was well within her way to get a victory there, but it just wasn't. It wasn't in the cards for her.
But she was hanging out with some of the guys from the I think Golden State Warriors. Yeah.
Hey. Did you see her at the weigh-ins?
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yeah. I saw her more than once.
That was
good.
That was impressive. That was probably Yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
Wait, the ceremonial weigh-ins or the actual?
No, the actual weigh-ins.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the actual weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Ceremonial weigh-ins, okay, but the actual weigh-ins, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Gregor Gillespie. Oh no, Benavidez picking up a win over Dustin Ortiz. Obviously, trying to make a case for the flyweight division. Benavidez looking good, picking up a win. He's just that. isn't high profile enough to get an automatic title shot. Most likely, they're probably going to do the rematch with Dillashaw at 135, and then there you
That
go.
makes sense.
Gregor Gillespie defeating Yancy Medeiros. That was just a wrestling clinic. I felt bad for Yancy. He never really got a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Gillespie just completely domination with the wrestling. That's obviously what he's known for. Alan Crowder picking up a win over Greg Hardy. Now, this is a controversial one. Obviously, it's Greg Hardy. It's always controversial. Alan Crowder looking good. Second round. Greg Hardy looking decent first round. And then slowly, I think the conditioning started to play a factor for him, seeing that his knockout power wasn't as effective. I think before the knee, I think he was probably well within his weight, like on his way to win, because he did kind of like, even though Crowder was kind of egging him on to come at him, he did kind of rock him a little bit, and then they kind of did a scramble, and then he ended up on it with a knee, and I could see Greg Hardy actually still winning that fight if he were able to land something solid on him. But Crowder looked good. I would like to see it maybe done again, maybe that fight, but a rematch. Why not? I mean, why not go at it again? Like, what's the But what'd you think about the illegal knee? People are saying it was on purpose. People saying it was just inexperience.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think seeing his post fight,
He's very
seeing him emotional, makes me think that it wasn't intentional. Now I don't know why the UFC put him in that spot. I mean, they should have put him on a. I mean, I know why because of his name, but I think him being on the prelims would have been a good fit for him. But yeah, I think it wasn't illegal. I think it just happened, and unfortunately for him, he lost because of it. And I don't disagree. Just rewind it and do it again, or you can find plenty of heavyweights that he can fight.
Yeah. No, his pre-fight interviews were great. His post-fight interview, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was just one of those things where he's inexperienced, and he just was tired, fatigued. Obviously, probably even the danger of just potential losing. Just it's his instinct. Just throw a knee. People were saying, "Oh, he wanted a way out." I don't. Maybe it could have been, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think he would have done it with this result to go out like that and to look even worse. Even if he just lost in general, just by decision, I think it would have been better for him instead of losing by disqualification.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then obviously the main card, Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw flyweight title. Not much to say in this fight. A whole lot in terms of like talking about the action in this fight. It was 32 seconds, first round. Henry Cejudo retaining his flyweight title. And hopefully the division. What do you think?
I think it was a great win from Henry. I don't think that TJ was kind of a sore loser, and then he wasn't out. I thought it was a good stoppage. I think TJ was out and he looked disorientated after they called the fight. I think Henry Cejudo he's a stud, and I like him more now than ever. He has that pro wrestling ish kind of vibe,
he turned a corner, turned a page,
and what I like about Henry is that he doesn't, when he does it, it seems real. It doesn't seem like he's faking it.
That's true.
It fits his personality.
He does it just enough.
Yeah, and then he I loved when he was wearing that gold medal around his neck and that suit of gold. It was great. Kudos to him and TJ for promoting that fight, and it broke records. It was the highest rated prelims, in cable, UFC history.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fight and how many people subscribed because of that fight shows you the power that Henry Cejudo has, and he can be a superstar. He speaks fluent Portuguese, Spanish, and English. That guy he's the golden star right now, and it was a great fight, and I would want to see him. If he fights TJ again, I always want to see him fight at 35 and maybe get 2 belts. Yeah,
I would like to see it done again at 35. I think they should do a rematch. Not that I haven't been against the first one. If my opinion on the first one, I thought the fight, obviously, I think Henry looked stronger. He looked bigger. He looked fresher, faster, healthier. I saw TJ even a hydrated TJ. He looked sick. He looked sick. He looked weak.
His face looked sunk in.
His face looked sunk in. Like to even start the whole combination of like strikes, he was literally just like shoved down to the ground.
Yeah, I never seen that before.
I've never seen that before. He did not look good. That weight cut was just way too much for him. Yeah, he can make it. But it just to stay at 135. That's the lowest you can do. Where in terms of his health, where his skill level, his energy, his like he did not look like the normal TJ. Even after he lost, he looked drained.
Yeah,
and nothing taken away from Cejudo. He obviously that's his weight class, and he looked damn good.
Yeah,
but TJ looked horrible, like just physically horrible.
Yeah,
to where I'm like, yeah, of course he's not even his. He's like a shade of his former self. It's like, not that he wouldn't lose.
And those 10 pounds kind of hurt his chin too.
Yeah, it hurts his chin. He's just weak. His body is not strong. His muscle mass is lower.
I'm glad Henry won that fight. I was
sad for TJ because it was so quick, and I know he's better than that. But I was happy for Cejudo because he cemented his legacy and in terms of his place in the division and history, and hopefully he saved the division and even proved himself as a champion. So it's like, but TJ, do not go to 125 anymore. Like, not that you can't beat Cejudo, but at 125, you're not even half the fighter you normally are.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, I don't know. That was the biggest takeaway for me from that fight, where it's like he literally just got shoved down to the ground, and I was just like he got punked.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not look. But Cejudo looked strong, big, hydrated. He looked so much better. Also, we didn't even bring it up. We're drinking Deftones. If you guys don't know the band Deftones, they have a partnership with Belching Beaver. It's a San Diego brewery, and they have a couple of they have 4 of those. I didn't know they even have 4 beers with them. It's a 7.1. I didn't even realize it was that strong.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
This is the Phantom Bride. This is the Indian Pale Ale. It's a great one. Great.
Delicious.
Yeah, great little can too. I love the design. You got to try their other ones too. I know they have a few other. They have a 4 with Belching Beaver. But if you guys know the Deftones, one of my favorite bands, but they have a partnership with Belching Beaver. Great beer.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Uh-huh. Last week we had the Metallica.
Yeah. Usually IPAs are really bitter.
Yeah.
This one is a good balance. It's almost like an American IPA. It's not too bitter. It's really balanced. Really good.
Yeah,
tasty. It's really tasty. It's really citrusy.
Yeah, I think Belching Beaver is a San Diego-based brewery.
I highly recommend it. It's delicious.
John did it at Vaughn's too, which is great.
Crazy.
It's fucking great.
Crazy.
All right. Let's get to a couple of topics before we go here. Let's see. Okay, so Fedor Emelianenko fights this weekend. You have Bellator 214, I believe.
Saturday.
At the Forum.
Our backyard.
Yeah, our backyard. That's this weekend. It's Ryan Bader against Fedor Emelianenko for the heavyweight Grand Prix. This is the finals right here. You got a great card too. You have,
I think, Aaron Pico and Henry
Corrales.
That's a great fight. My manager is really good friends with both Aaron Pico, and my coworker is actually Aaron Pico's cousin, which I didn't know. I just found out this week. But my department manager is good friends with both of them, so she's really nervous about this fight. I think Henry's we'll talk about it in the fight picks, but that's gonna be.
This is the close fight for her then.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jack Swagger making his Bellator debut. Juan Archuleta fighting on this card. Let's go with the co-main event. But actually, let's talk about Fedor real quick because he's alluding to possibly this being one of his last fights. He's talking about retirement a lot more and more now. 2019 could be his last year. If he were to pick up a win, do you think will retire, or do you think maybe we're going to see the end of Fedor? And
if he wins,
if he wins, if he loses,
I think so. I think if he wins, there's a better chance that he does because he won the Grand Prix route. I mean, I don't even know why he's still fighting, to be honest. I think he's done everything that he can.
If he does win, would it be comeback of the year? Would it be, I mean, for Fedor to make a comeback like this, win a Grand Prix tournament, heavyweight, Bellator, at this age, the stage of his career?
It'll be up there. I mean, considering the guy that he's fighting,
yeah,
I don't see Fedor beating Ryan Bader.
I don't either. If he were to beat Ryan Bader, that would be
surprising. But, I mean, at his age, I mean, kudos to him to like not only still be fighting, but to get to the finals of a
Grand Prix tournament.
I mean, I want to say competitive. I think it was to have guys to have a light heavyweight fight in the finals kind of tells you a story about the competitiveness of this tournament.
Now, would he go down as one of the best heavyweights of all time? Is he one of the best heavyweights of all time right now with a 38-5 record? If he were to win, it would be a 39-5 record.
I want to call him the best, but definitely one of the best.
I think so. I mean, it's hard. It'd be a hard argument to say that he isn't one of the best, especially who he beat and when he beat them.
Yeah, but then it's Japan, so you kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but also everybody else was probably on something too.
Yeah, it's probably fixed. A lot of the fights are probably fixed. No,
maybe some of them.
Yeah, so.
Maybe some of those fights that he had like no names, like this random Japanese dude, maybe against like a Nogueira or a Crocop, probably not. Those are very competitive.
I don't know.
No, those are
at the
brawls.
time those guys are like coming up and they
Or how about when Randleman tossed him on his head and like flipped over and arm like Kimura'd him.
That's crazy, but I don't know. I can see like Randleman say, "Well, give me some money, and I'll do it."
No, I'm totally for calling a lot of the Pride fights probably questionable. But if I were to go down and say that who was probably the best heavyweight of all time, he would probably be top 2. I mean, who else would be there?
I put Verdum over him.
You put Verdum over him?
Yeah, Verdum beat him easy, and the guys that Verdum beat Kane. And he beat Fedor. You got to put him above.
He did. But Verdum beat him toward the latter stage of his career, though.
He still beat him. And he beat
him. He ended his streak.
Yeah.
But it was like towards the end of his streak.
And he's the first person to submit him, right?
First person to just beat him, submit him.
Yeah. And then he beat Kane. So I put Verdum over him for sure.
Yeah.
For me, it's Kane and Verdum second.
So Kane,
although Verdum beat Kane,
what about Stipe? He beat Verdum. He knocked him out.
Stipe is probably one then because he did defend the title.
Yeah.
For the longest. Stipe,
I'd probably go with Stipe number 3.
3.
I like Kane based on just skill, but his reign isn't as long before I can put him in the top 2 even. I'll probably put him in the top 3, top 4.
Verdum over Fedor?
I'd probably still go with Fedor just based on the era and who he beat.
I don't because I question those wins in Pride.
Yeah.
And I don't question what Verdum did to Fedor.
I question some of them, but I don't question all of them. I question the ones.
You have to question some of them.
I don't question the ones that are against the big names. Like
those ones is where I question the most.
Really?
The big names, yeah.
Nogueira and all those?
I question them. Yeah, I can
those are like dog fights.
I can see backstage saying, "Okay, just do this, and then here's a 50 or."
I only question the ones where they're like, there's absolutely no name. Like it's like Nagasaki and just some random guy in a silver
with the fact that we have to question it.
Yeah,
but you have to put
the person whose record I do question is probably like maybe Vanderlei. I think I question his record more than I question anybody else's.
But the fact that you have to question,
but like even like Shogun's run against the high profile fights, I really don't question that much. It's the the no names I question. Those ones where, you know, obviously you could just throw anybody in there and just yeah. Those are the ones I question. That's for me. For me, I question those. So I'd probably still put Fedor, probably greatest of all time, especially if he wins this tournament.
So you put Fedor number 1?
I think I put Fedor number 1.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, especially with that record, who he beat and when he beat them. Steroids aside, because it was an era where I think everybody was probably taking something, whether knowingly or unknowingly.
I can't do that. I can't.
No,
I can't put him on number 1.
Because
he goes to the States and he gets all his losses were in the States. He does. That raises an eyebrow.
But to me, I also chalk it up to the last end of his career, towards the end of his career. I mean, like this stage where he hits that old man stage.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if we were talking about states, Verdum I think is top, either number 1 or number 2. Stipe, you could put him up there too. Those are the top 3 for me in whatever order you want to shuffle them around.
Just because when he came to when Fedor fought in North America, it was
it really showed. It did. So yeah, you have to.
That's good barbershop talk though.
But for me, those top 3: Verdum, Stipe, Fedor. I'd probably put those as my top 3 heavyweights of all time.
Say it again.
Stipe, Verdum, and Fedor, like as my top 3. Whatever order you can argue. Those are my top 3. Kane, I put him as, you know,
top 5.
Yeah, top 5, if not number 4. Not perfect. And that's pretty much it, right? That's we can talk about a bunch of things, but I wanted to get to this card: Henry Corrales, Aaron Pico, Jack Swagger, J.W. Kaiser. But Henry Corrales, Aaron Pico, who do you have?
Pico.
Me too. Local boy, Whittier boy.
It's Whittier versus La Mirada.
Yeah, Whittier versus La Mirada. If you're not from this area, we that's our area. Those are our cities right there, towns. Aaron Pico and Henry Corrales are local boys to us. Fedor Emelianenko, Ryan Bader. All right, that's our show. Thank you to Emily Whitmire for being on the show. Thank you guys all for listening and watching. Go to MMAComplex.com.
You can follow us on social media. You can follow me on Snapchat. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook. Instagram, and Facebook, all under one name, the MMA Complex.
Yeah, sorry. Instagram, everything.
Brain fart. Yeah,
go on. Finish it. Close it out. Go to themmacomplex.com, iTunes, leave comments, all that shit.
And follow us.
Follow us.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bam.